Hi class, today we're going to talk about dividing polynomials. We're going to do long division, synthetic division, and the remainder theorem to help us find roots so we know where to start. All right, so you should have your notes out and let's go. All right, so we're dividing polynomials today. We're going to do long division first and then we're going to go into synthetic. So when you're going through here, this is just how do you divide. So you arrange the dividend and the divisor, you divide them, you multiply, you subtract, and then you start over. So we're going to start with straight numbers so you understand what I'm talking about, and then we'll go into things. You will never have to do numbers on your homework. This is just to get you moving. All right, so here we go. This is what we want to divide. So we need to put this in the correct form first. So the 1,334 goes on the inside, and we're dividing it by 21. And I know you were taught lots of different ways, but I just want you to listen and follow along. The first thing we do is see how much the first term will go into what I have. It doesn't go into 1, but does it go into 13? And the answer is 2 will go into 13 6 times. So we're going to write down our 6. Now, so step 1 was division. So we divided first. And we divided first by first. Okay? Now we multiply. So you take your answer times your entire thing here, not just the 2, but the 21. So now we're taking 6 times 21, which is 126. And you wrote that down. And then you subtracted. So then you multiplied everybody, right? So that means the entire 21. And then step 3 is you subtract. And then we start over until we're done. Oops, again. All right, so let's subtract 126. So we got 13 and we get 74. So now we start again. How many times does 2 go into 7? Well, 2 goes into 7 3 times. We multiply, so 3 times all of it, 21, which is 63. And then we subtract, and we get 11. Now, when you were little, you would have put R as 11. We're not little anymore. This is truly a fraction. So this is plus our fractional, what's left, which is 11 over 21. And we're done. So all we did was divide first by first, multiplied our answer by everybody, and subtract. So it's divide, multiply, subtract. Okay, now we're going to do it with real stuff. So we're going to put in 3x squared minus 2x minus 5. We're going to divide it by x plus 3. So the first place we look is our first term, x and 3x squared. So in your head, you're thinking, what is 3x squared divided by x? All right, this is what you are thinking. And that equals 3x. So we put 3x in our answer. Now, so that's step 1. We divide it, right? Step 2 is you multiply. So now you take the 3x times everybody here. So now, so you're doing, this is what you're thinking, 3x times everybody. So that's 3x squared plus 9x. This is what you did, right? Okay, your next step was subtraction. Now you're going to subtract. So I'm going to subtract everybody, which means I have to distribute this negative. So this is a negative 3x squared, and this is a negative 9. So 3x squared minus 3x squared is gone. Minus 2 minus 9 is minus 11x. Bring down your next term and do it again. So how many times is x going to a negative 11x? So you are thinking negative 11x divided by x is negative 11. You're going to take that and multiply. So your next step is multiply. Negative 11 times x is negative 11x. Negative 11 times 3 is negative 33. Next step is you are subtracting. So now I have to subtract these. So I have to change everybody's signs. So minus a minus 11, now it cancels. Minus 5 minus a negative 33, so that means plus, is going to be a positive 28. X does not go into 28 because there are no x's, so this is my remainder. So we write plus 28 over what we divided by, x plus 3. Okay, pause and do yours. Okay, I hope you recognize there is something wrong here, right? It has to be in descending order. So let's write this correctly. So your first part should have been 2x cubed minus 3x squared minus 11x plus 7. If you did not do that first, you erase and start over. So now you're dividing. 2x cubed divided by x is 2x squared, division. Step 2, you're going to multiply. So 2x squared times everybody. So 2x squared times x is 2x cubed. 2x squared times a negative 3 is negative 6x squared. Next step is you are subtracting. So I got to subtract everybody. So 2x cubed minus 2x cubed cancels. Minus 3x squared minus a negative, which means plus a positive, correct? So now we have 3x squared. Bring down your next terms, or all of them if you like, and we start over. So third was subtract. So let's start over. I'm going to take 3x squared divided by x, and I'm going to get 3x. I'm going to take 3x times everybody, so 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times negative 3 is a negative 9x. Good there. Now we are going to subtract again. So 3x squared, everybody, right? 3x squared minus 3x squared cancels. Minus 11 minus a negative 9 plus a positive, negative 2x plus 7, and we're going to start over again. So now we're going to take negative 2x divided by x, and you should have gotten negative 2. Multiply negative 2 times x, negative 2x, negative 2 times negative 3, plus 6. And now we still have to subtract. So minus a negative, so this guy cancels. 7 minus 6 is going to give you 1. So my remainder is 1. So we're going to write plus 1 over what we divided by, which was x minus 3. So just remember, divide, multiply, subtract. Okay, synthetic division. You have to be careful with synthetic because if there's nothing here, we have to put in a 0. We're going to draw a box and a line. I hope that reminds you of things. You have to use the opposite of the factor. So if this is the factor, the opposite is negative 2. So you set it equal to 0. Okay, I have an x cubed. I have no x squareds. I have negative 7 x's and negative 6 for my linear term. Okay, you drop the first, so we bring him down, 1. Then you multiply. 1 times the negative 2 is negative 2. You write that here, and then you add. Then you start again. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. Then you add. Then you multiply again. Negative 3 times negative 2 is 6. And then you add. The last one is your remainder. All right, if it's 0, that means this is a root. This is where it crosses the x-axis. It's one of our solutions. You rewrite this. This is always one lower degree than the degree of your poly. Well, if we started here, our degree of our poly was x cubed, so this is x squared. And then you go down in order, minus 2x minus 3. And that is our answer. All right, pause and try yours. Oops. Come back. Okay, when you did yours, it was a negative 2, so you should have had a 2 here. You have 2x to the fourth, no x cubes, minus 3x squared, 1x, and negative 5. This is our remainder. Drop the first, so 2, 4, add, multiply, add, multiply, six, 12, and we are going to get a remainder of, oh, sorry about that. This in here, I forgot to multiply. I said it, but didn't do it. Okay, so this should be a 10, making this one here, I knew it looked weird. Go away. There we go. All right, 11, multiply, 22, giving us 17. So we started x to the fourth, so this is x cubed. So 2x cubed, right, there we go, plus 4x squared plus 5x plus 11 plus 17 over what you divided by, which is the x minus 2. This one is not a root because we had a remainder. All right, now I want you to look at something. We're going to use the exact same function, and I want you to find f of 2. So when you plug in f of 2, you do this. F of 2 equals 2 times 2 to the fourth minus 3 times 2 squared plus 2 minus 5. Plug that into your calculator, and you get 17. If you notice, these are identical. When you plug it in, it gives you the remainder, which is a point on the graph. So this is 217. And it tells you it is not a root because this is not 0. 217 is not an x-intercept because you do not have a 0. All right, so we use that sometimes to help us find things. And we just talked about not 0, and this is known as your factor theorem. Okay, I want to find all the zeros of 15x cubed plus 14x squared minus 3x minus 2. And there are a ton of them that this could be. So the first thing we're going to do is there is a root theorem that helps us find rational zeros. It says you take the factors of the first and the factors of the last. You take the factors of the last divided by factors of the first. So factors of last divided by factors of first. And I'm hoping you're going to use the table method on your calculator. So 15 is 1, 3, 5, and 15. Those are the factors of 15. 2 is 1 and 2. What you do here is you take 1 divided by everybody. So 1 divided by 1, 1 divided by 3, 1 divided by 5, 1 divided by 15. And you do the same with 2. 2 divided by 1, 2 divided by 3, 2 divided by 5, 2 divided by 15. Okay, when you look at this, we're going to go through, and all of these can be plus or minus roots. So you're going to use the table mode on your calculator. So I'm hoping you have that. If not, you can plug these in individually. It doesn't matter. And you use this here for your y equals, and then you plug in these numbers until you get a 0. So you're going to do f of, let's start with a positive 1. So you'd plug this into your calculator, right? 1 squared minus 3, because we do not want to do this by hand. It would take forever. And that does not equal 0. And then you're going to do negative 1. So when you do f of negative 1, and you plug that into your calculator, that one equals 0. So this is a root. Okay, all we're doing now is our factor theorem that we just found. So since it equals 0, it's a root. And now we're going to use our synthetic division to find the rest. Since this is the root, it goes in exactly like that. It's not a factor, so I don't have to set it equal to 0, so we use its sign. We have a 3, 2, 1, 0. We're not missing any. So it's 15, 14, negative 3, negative 2. All right, let's use synthetic division. Let's drop. 15, negative 15, negative 1, 1, negative 2, 2, and our 0. So we know we did our work, right? Now I'm down to an x squared. So we have 15x squared minus x minus 2. And we can try factoring that, which I think is going to actually work fairly well. Do I have enough room over here? Okay, so if we factor this, we have a negative 30x squared. Well, factors of negative 30, that give us negative 1 or 6 and 5. So let's use 15x squared minus 6x plus 5x minus 2 to group. Let's take out a 3x. It's going to give us 5x minus 2. Nothing to take out back here over your 1. So you're going to get 5x minus 2 and 3x plus 1. So your other two roots are x equals, add the 2, divide by 5, and x equals negative 1/3. So our roots that work are negative 1/3 and 2/5. If you look, they were here. 1/3 and 2/5. It's just another way to find them instead of plugging them all in. Okay, pause and do yours. So you should have plugged, so you have 1 here, 1, 2, and 4 here. So the numbers you plugged in were 1, 2, 4, plus or minus, right? So these are the ones you should have plugged into your calculator. And when you did that, you could have found a different ones that worked. The one that I found was 4. So we're going to plug in the 4, 1, negative 2, negative 9, 4. Make sure we've done our work right. 1, 4, 2, 8, negative 1, negative 4, remainder 0. So now we have x squared plus 2x minus 1. That does not factor, so we have to use the quadratic formula. So x equals the opposite of b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So we got minus 2 plus or minus the square root of 8 over 2, which is minus 2 plus or minus 2 square roots of 2 over 2, which is minus 1 plus or minus the square root of 2. Do I have room to write that? Equals minus 1 plus or minus the square root of 2. Notice there are 2 roots here. These are irrational. That's why they're not in our form here. So our 3 roots are 4 minus 1 plus the square root of 2 and minus 1 minus the square root of 2. All right, good luck on your homework. I hope you do well.